How close to the chest did you keep the fact that your hometown was getting hammered by a hurricane this week of practice?
Yeah, it was something that I couldn't really, I was hoping that I was hoping the best for everybody, had them in my prayers and everything. But again, I can't let that affect my production on the field. I reached out to all the people that I think that are, still there as far as like work and stuff like that. And most of the people I talked to got out of the way, so I'm happy about that. But, it was something that, I was kind of worried about early in the week. Making sure everybody's safe, making sure everybody knows how serious the storm is. But for the most part, once it's game time, all that goes out the window.
It may not mean much, but sometimes sports can help in moments like this. For your hometown, I don't know if they had access to a TV, but when they see the highlights here and see you had a big game, the pride in this moment while they were going through a tough time, what does that mean for you to be able to deliver that?
Just to make my hometown happy is something that I take great pride in. A lot of people don't come out of where I'm from, well, not where I'm from, but where I came out of high school, and just to make sure that that town has something to latch on to, something to give them drive, give them hope. That's always something that I take pride in.
The last one for you, watching Trace track down the defensive back after the interception and stop that before the touchdown. What does it mean to see your star quarterback make that kind of effort, and how does that spread across the sideline?
I think that's a perfect example of how our team is overall. Nobody's too important or too high glamour to not get in the dirt and do the stuff that nobody else wants to do. A lot of quarterbacks will not even attempt to tackle, but Trace is one of those guys that no matter where you put him at, he's gonna do it 100%. And to see him put his head down and get that tackle, that's my man. So yeah.
KJ said it took DeAndre.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
KJ said it took a while for you guys to mesh personally. What was the case with that? I mean, you guys are different personalities.
Yeah, we're completely two different people, right? He's away on the left, I'm away on the right. But he's high energy, talks a lot, has a lot, he jokes around a lot. I haven't really been that type of guy. But at the end of the day, that's my brother. No matter what personality he has, no matter what type of person he is, that's my brother. So, we work through our differences. Sometimes, he gets on my nerves, but I know sometimes I don't really talk enough to him. But at the end of the day, we respect each other. We have the highest respect for each other, and we just make it work.
DeAndre, what's your assessment of this team 3 games in, heading into Big Ten play?
Just confidence level is high. We're performing in all cylinders. Defense, special teams is rocking. Offense is rocking. So we just got to stay consistent week 4 and so on.
I'm sorry if you've been asked this already, but when you're fielding the punt, do you feel the stadium level, the anticipation kind of deal, like once that volume goes up?
I guess you can say that. You can kind of feel the crowd take a deep breath when the ball's in the air. And then when you catch it and make a guy miss it, and then they start screaming. You can kind of feel it, but it's just one of those things that when you're out there, you feel yourself like if you're panicking, it's like times 10. So if the ball's in the air and you're panicking, it just gets worse and worse. So KJ and Jahan got in, and my first thing was, look, when the ball is kicked, when you hear the ball come off his foot, just take a deep breath, and everything will just disappear. So you feel it. It can either make things 10 times better or 10 times worse. So it's kind of one of those things that you gotta channel in yourself, and then everybody else will follow.
It's a good tightrope act.
Yeah.
You should have told me that.
Oh,
That would have helped. Big play mentality. Do you think every time you touch the ball, it's a big play?
Absolutely.
What's the genesis of that? How do you go about that, even if it's on a pass play?
It's just, you can't expect nothing less. Expecting anything less is why are you on the field? You're out there to make plays and score touchdowns. And if you don't think every play is a touchdown, then you're already beat before you even start to play. So that's kind of one of the mindsets that we have, not only for myself but receivers, but for the offenses as a whole.
Seems like all your young receivers do is catch touchdowns. I know Cam got his call back, but first catch for Dana George, 95. First catch for Hippenhammer, touchdown on national TV. How proud are you of the young pups?
Man, it's so much. It's hard to describe the joy that I have in those young guys. just to see them work and come in and have that first talk with them, like, yo, this is how we work. This is how you're gonna have to come in every day and compete with this standard, because it's been handed down from Chris Godwin to Deshaun to Drew to me. So we're gonna have to hand it down to you. You have to perform this way. And then to see them take that and just go with it, and then see the success early, it's just like it's equivalent to a proud father. Like when Matt caught that touchdown, I almost ran on the field with my helmet off, and I know Franklin would probably wring my neck. But just to see, guys that came in, and we've done all this extra work, and all this film study, and all this talk, and just telling them, yo, just be patient, Your time's gonna come. Your time's gonna come. And when that time finally comes, it's a sigh of relief, like just to have those guys happy and just making plays.
KJ called this offensive line. How would you bet on your point of that analysis?
Yeah, man. Like you said, man. You saw how many people scored. Like anybody can get on the field at any point and score a touchdown. So if that's not electrifying, then I don't know what it is.
Does that create a certain amount of stress that there's so much competition?
No, not at all. If you're stressed about competition, then you need to get out of football. It drives everybody to know that no matter what happens, you have somebody behind you that's fighting for your role, so you have to perform. It's just something that it makes everything better, because you have somebody who not only loves you, but also wants to take your spot. So it's a friendly competition, but it just makes everything better, because you know that you have somebody who's pushing you to be better, and it's not just something that you have to motivate yourself, like, I have to be great, I have to be great. You have somebody who will take your spot if you do not go out there and perform like you're supposed to.
Hey, DeAndre, Jones talked about having a great locker room vibe with so many guys getting playing and really making an impact. How do you assess the locker room culture as from a player's perspective?
It's a brotherhood. There's a lot of things that go on in the locker room that a lot of people outside the locker room just frankly can't understand. And it's just something that it just goes unsolved. Like, it's a lot of things that, a lot of nuances that happen in the locker room that builds character, builds chemistry, builds everything. And I think our success on the field starts in the locker room. If you have guys who pick up towels at the end of the game, or make sure the room's clean before they leave. That kind of attention to detail will come on the field when you have to get a certain depth, or you have to make this certain read. You're accounted on to do that.
Coach Franklin had referenced that was from some kind of book that he had read. Have any of you read this book, or has he recommended it to people?
Yeah, he's actually giving it out. I haven't read it yet, but it's talked about the All Blacks, and how they stay after and they clean the locker room, and they basically don't even need a janitor to come into their room, because they go back and they clean and they make sure everybody's accountable for everything they do, because that accountability is not only off the field but on the field as well. So like I said, I think it starts in the locker room, and when it starts in the locker room, it leads onto the practice field, and whatever you practice is how you play. So